Hey, today I'm going to show you how to create a fire simulation which looks like it shoots out of a burst pipe. All you need is Blender. Grab yourself a sphere, open up the little tab down there on the left side and set the segments to 8 and rings to 4. Go into edit mode by pressing tab. Select all the faces by pressing A. Now press F3 on your keyboard and look for subdivide. One more tab will open up and you have to set the you'll have to set the fractal value to some number that makes it look like this monster. Now warning, anytime you try to create a super chaotic and violent simulation of anything, everything turns into a trial and error speedrun of your patience. Or you just download my files from the description below. Anyway, first step of creating chaos is to spin the sphere. Press N and then this will show up. Now set a keyframe at no rotation of the sphere by pressing I on the keyboard and hovering the cursor over it. Move the playhead in the timeline to frame 100 and let the sphere rotate 1080 degrees. Obviously, if you want the animation to be, for example, 200 frames in length, you'll have to set it to, you guessed it, 2160 degrees. I think you can do the math on it. While we're still at the sphere, press F3 and look for quick smoke. Let's set the flow type to fire plus smoke. The initial temperature to 2, so it races faster. The fuel to 6. Check the initial velocity checkmark and set the source to 6. Like I said, trial and error speedrun of your patience. These are some of those extreme settings keeping you up all night. Let's move on to the domain. The resolution depends on the size of the simulation you want to achieve. All you gotta do is to scale the domain by pressing S and applying the scale by pressing Ctrl and A. Now you have the permission to change the resolution. My simulation, for example, is 38.4, 36 and 47.4 meters. Yes, you heard me, meters. And it gets more crazy when I tell you I only set the domain resolution to 96. Almost nice. But how does it look the way it do? We'll use some noise. It adds resolution and creates some fake details in the volume, which is based on the movement of the low resolution simulation. TLDR, it runs faster and looks better than a real high-res simulation. I set the up-res factor to 4. And the scale to 4 as well. And I was happy with that. Don't forget to enable adaptive domain. It'll just simulate faster. Don't get too close to the cache though. We aren't done yet. Let's add a vertex force field. These are the settings I used, and depending on the scale of your scene, you'll need to use vastly different values. But if you follow along with me and copy all the values I'll show you, you'll end up with a pretty good starting point. But what does what? Strength affects the amount the vertex influences the fire and smoke. Inflow affects how much the smoke and fire wants to meet in the center of the vertex. The fall off will select tube, because we want it to go up in a tubular fashion. And contradictory to all beliefs, we'll have to set the C direction to -C. No idea why. But also make sure that the vertex is in the middle of the sphere. Let's add one more force field, which is the basic ass Britney call force field called force. Set its strength to 8 and move it below the fire emitting sphere. Now you should be all set and you're ready for the first bake. Go to the domain, down to the cache and set the type to modular and resumable. Go back up and don't forget to disable noise for now and hit bake. If your simulation is done or you couldn't wait any longer and you had to hit escape, you'll see some fire while moving around in the timeline. If you're happy with what you're seeing, then enable noise again. Don't panic, the simulation will disappear, but it reappears when you hit bake on the noise again. But in general, if you're not happy with the way your simulation looks, my simulation looks like this in viewport. We can fix a lot in the shade editor. If we were to render it now, we wouldn't see any fire. Let's change that by setting the black body intensity to some other value than 0. I chose 5. Now the smoke might be a bit too much, but we can fix that by copying the density text and deleting it. Add a math node, add a color ramp node and attribute node, and link the tree up like this. Paste the just copy text into the name of the attribute node. Set a math node to multiply and a lower value to 15. This value increases or decreases the thickness of the smoke. Playing around with the color ramp will cut off some smoke if you move the black pin towards the white one. And the white one will make everything after it be set to the max value of the multiply node. In this case 15. Now if you render this with cycles, you'll have something resembling this. Now before you go and experiment with your own values and scaling, I just want to mention, if you achieve something that you really like, you're a trooper. This probably took you a long time. Speaking of long time, I created my first YouTube channel 10 years ago, and I'd like to invite you to watch my live stream on August 27th at those times. It's a Saturday, by the way. It'll be right here on YouTube on my gaming channel and at 123 Gaming. Link in the description below. I'll play some Apex Legends and probably cringe at my 11-year-old self, and probably some other games. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike and comment down below why you didn't like it, why you did like it. And if you loved it, sub to my channel and ring the bell to never miss an upload of mine. Bye. Well, see you Saturday, hopefully.
I'm gone. In the booth, I'm gone now. Tell girls, I'm gone now. In a Benz, I'm gone now. Was a Bessie, but I'm gone now. Tell streets, I'm gone now. Kill a B, I'm gone now. I'm gone. Oh damn! In the booth, I'm gone now. Tell girls, I'm gone now. In a Benz, I'm gone now. Was a Bessie, but I'm gone now. Tell streets, I'm gone now. Kill a B, I'm gone now. I'm gone. Oh damn!